Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Hope everyone is doing good. So in the continuation to our podcast series, I would like to welcome my very good friend Saurav, who has more than 10-15 years of experience in DE in a data engineering field, and he has worked with multiple MNCs. So theme of this today's discussion is more about guiding the IT professional who has around mid years of experience, around 10 to 12 years of experience, who want to move or who want to transition their career to the DE field. So before starting to the discussion, I would welcome Saurav again. Thanks, Saurav, for joining this discussion. So why don't we start with your introduction first?
Sure, Santosh. It's a pleasure to be on your podcast. So my name is Saurabh. I've close to 15 years of experience in IT and with close to 10 years in the data engineering space. Currently, I work as a data architect for a data and AI-based startup, where my role is to help clients to design, architect, and develop data platforms and data pipelines for their analytics needs, right from ingestion to the reporting layer. So this is what I do in short, and we work for clients from various domains and verticals, including retail, health and life sciences, banking, multiple sectors. So this is what I do in short in my current role.
Yeah, thanks, Saurav, for this brief introduction. So moving to the question section now, the interesting one. So the first question is regarding the mid-level IT professional. Now, for example, a associate or a professional who has worked for around 10 to 12 years of experience in multiple companies, and now they are stuck into something called reporting or some SQL kind of stuff, and they want to transition into DE skill. So, what suggestion you would put for these kind of professional so that they can follow that particular path, or moreover similar path, so that they can achieve their goal to move into a DE field?
Uh, it's a very good question. I mean, yeah, I think this is the dilemma. I think most of IT professionals face when they would have started their career in a technology which is not very relevant right now, and they want to make a move to more the in-demand skills like data engineering or data science. So my suggestions to them who are in the close to 10 years of experience and they're looking to move to data engineering is try to do a skill mapping first. I mean, try to understand what are your strengths in your current role. Maybe you must be working for a client which is in a domain like a retail client or a supply chain, or it could be any other vertical. So if you understand your domain better, which I assume you would because you have close to 10 years of experience already in that domain, try to leverage that domain experience and pick up skills in data engineering. And I would say start somewhere around data modeling, which is a very good place to start for senior people. I would not suggest this for people who are starting out as junior developers. For seniors, you can pick up something like data modeling to start with, understanding, how would you model could be a high level design for the storage layer of data engineering, and you can go from there on. And definitely, I would assume you would have some SQL experience, which will definitely come in handy, when you are preparing for that. And then skills like understanding Spark, distributed computing. Then pick up few tools which are currently being used heavily in the market, like data platforms like Databricks or Snowflake. I think this is a good point to start.
Yeah, thanks for the great suggestion. I totally agree. A person who is not in a DE field should utilize their business knowledge, domain knowledge, and also utilize their SQL skill. Okay, now with these aspects, there is one more thing which is in a great discussion in a DE field, like Spark being the core tech for all the data engineering. So earlier the Spark was the main tech, but now the Spark has there are multiple techs around the Spark, but Spark still remains the core tech. So these people who are of 10, 15 years or 12 years of experience who don't have any experience in a D, they would not be knowing anything about Spark. So what is your suggestion for them so that they can prepare for the Spark and not getting stuck into its complexity? And also how they can practice with the demo set of data?
Yes, Santosh, I think again it's a very relevant question, and I think people who are starting out in their mid-level careers would definitely have this dilemma like where to start. And I think one of the mistakes that I've seen people making is they pick up the complex parts first, like uh, trying to understand Spark fundamentals, trying to get into those intricacies, how you debug a job, how you look at the logs. I think this can happen later, but considering the current scenario, the number of tools that we have currently, things like Databricks as data platforms, Snowflake. So this would be a good starting point for people who are starting out late because it does not give you a very steep learning curve. So unlike Spark, Databricks handles most of the optimizations. So you focus more on the development part, how to write your code in notebooks, how to, so you would definitely come in with some Spark, with some Python experience. You can leverage that experience in writing code from scratch. So I think those things help you better to begin with. And there are a lot of documentation available as well in Databricks. Since it's a pretty recent tool, you have a lot of hands-on training available. You have sandboxes available. So that's why I'm suggesting start with a platform, data platform like Databricks, because it will be easier for you to grasp the concepts and see the whole picture end to end, like right from development to building dashboards in Databricks itself.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I can relate it to my DE career. So when I started with the Spark, I started with the coding on Scala on RDD, and then eventually I went into the deep dive into the architecture optimization, and that has created a very good base. I totally agree with this. Not to get stuck into the complexity of Spark optimization and architecture in the beginning. Yeah, that was well said. So now we are moving into a different section in which now a particular associate has a particular professional has prepared for the Spark, and they have done all the work with the demo data, went into Hive, multiple Python things. Now the question comes about the interview. So now you also know that cracking interview when you start or transition to a DE is bit difficult. You get rejected into multiple technical rounds, and in some company will give you the that opportunity to start with your DE work, DE real time work. So what are your suggestions to these associates, like how they can prepare for the interview and which kind of company they should select in their interview process?
Yeah, I think good question again. I think this is very important to have the correct guidance when you are starting out, taking your first interview. From my experience, what I've seen is people who are starting to take their interviews in data engineering space, they try to over prepare and go through a host of topics, and try to understand everything, mug up everything before going on their first interview. Uh, I think this approach is a bit flawed because definitely all these topics are new for you, and practically it is not possible for somebody to understand everything and have a ready answer in any of the interviews when you are being evaluated on those topics. So I would say pick up the easiest topics first. Easiest topics, I would say things like SQL basics, uh, basics of data modeling, basics of Spark, and on mostly the practical aspects of it. Like if you are a junior developer, you are applying for a junior developer role, your preparation should be more around the development tasks that a big data developer or a data engineer does. But if you are going for a mid-level or a senior level person, your preparation should be focused more around the architecture side of things. Like how would you optimize? How would you do migration from maybe a on-prem cluster to Databricks or AWS EMR, or even moving PL SQL jobs from Oracle to any of the data platforms. So I think that's how you would prepare. And most importantly, how to take your first interview is target companies where the evaluation process is a bit lenient. Why I'm saying lenient is because that will maybe increase your chances of getting your first job. And companies like in the consulting space, they have a lot of requirements. Definitely, data engineering has a lot of jobs, which definitely pulls in a lot of people towards this field or space. So try for service-based companies or consulting companies where the interview or the selection process would not be very rigorous. And if you start and keep preparing while you take interviews, you will get an fair understanding of what is being expected from you in the interviews. I think that's how you should start, not first prepare everything and then get into your first interview. Make it a gradual process and make it a parallel process as well. Keep learning and keep taking interviews.
Exactly, exactly. I totally agree with this sort of like this is how one should start. And after once you get confident, then you are well equipped with the real scenario, real data. You can move to your particular company, your dream company, or any of the
Exactly.
bench. Yeah. So now the other thing will come once the associate or the professional has joined the organization. Now the biggest challenge will be working on the real data, business data. So till now, in the during the preparation time, he would have gained multiple. He or she would have gained multiple concepts. They would have gone through multiple demo practices. But how they can prepare for this real scenario, real data? What should be their approach inside the organization so that they don't lose their confidence, nor their team lead or the manager should lose the confidence on them.
Yeah, I think, yeah, again, a great question considering that once you crack your first interview and get your first offer, uh, the next step would be to know how to perform in that role, right? And that would be the basic expectation from you in that job. So people who don't have experience working in data engineering, but they've cracked their first interview and they have got that offer. I think try to first leverage on your transferable skills. So by transferable skills, I mean skills that you have already worked on in your past career. No, it could be sequels. So try to project yourself as a good SQL person if you know SQL well, and definitely other things would fall in place considering you can definitely spend some extra hours understanding how Spark works, how a particular data platform is being used to create jobs, to submit jobs, how to do reporting based on that data. Those things nobody would expect you to know in detail because definitely those are newer technologies. So if I talk about Databricks has been in this space for I think I would say close to 5 6 years max. So in that time frame, people don't expect you to have like 10 years of experience in data engineering, in Databricks in particular. So you can build your confidence around what you already know, things like data modeling, SQL, and those things, SQL optimization, and then try to learn more on the job. Definitely, you'll have to put in a lot of extra hours to do this, but this way you will be able to survive that because at least you will be performing well in what you already know.
Exactly. Surviving is the biggest challenge in the initial phase, and later
Correct.
on things will be easy, and things
Correct.
will be like it will be automatically automated all your things. Now, I have a different question apart from this line. So, what language, programming language, you would suggest to the newcomer or who are preparing for the DE field? So, what set of programming language you would suggest in the current scenario,
Got
and
it.
which all tool you would suggest them to go through it?
So, if you would have started 10 years back, I would have said that pick up things like Java, Scala, and then later on Python came in. But people who are starting now should focus only on one programming language, and that is Python. And why I'm saying Python is because that is the most widely accepted and used language currently in the DE space. And if you don't have a background in Python, I'm sure that you would have done some homework regarding, you would have taken some course where you have learned the basics of Spark, like file handling, things like exception handling, things like how do you write constructs, how do you create classes and those things. I think those basics you would definitely have covered. So Python is the programming language, the default choice right now. And apart from that, I would suggest to pick up tools that are in the market in the last few years. Things like, again, I would come to Databricks because it is most widely used currently, and the most number of customers and clients are using Databricks. So that's a good place to start. You have a lot of documentation available for it, a lot of training material is there. So if you familiarize yourself with the tool, maybe create a guest account or maybe create a trial account and then do some hands-on, that will definitely help you.
Yeah, thanks for further for your valuable suggestion. Now we are at the last section of this discussion, and the last question is regarding the motivation. Like everyone knows, like moving into a totally new tech is very difficult, and also for the associate, for the professional who are around 10 years or more than that years of experience. So during this whole process, from the process of preparation of the interview, preparation for their skill, I started working in the new organization with the new tech. So what motivation, what should they do so that they should be always motivated to learn the skill, not give up the journey in the middle.
Right. I think in the D space, the biggest motivation should be you will stay relevant in the industry for longer. I mean, that would be one of the reasons why I would want to make a career switch to data engineering. So, looking at the demand, how it is in the data engineering space, this is going to stay like this for at least a couple of decades. Definitely, a lot of AI tools are coming in, which will definitely make things easier. But if you keep upskilling yourself, you are not going to, I mean, fall at risk in terms of your employability when it comes to in the IT space. So I think you should focus on that. That you keep yourself motivated just for the fact that you will definitely do better in this space because there's a lot of jobs, there are a lot of opportunities to switch, which can definitely help you monetarily. You will definitely better salaries compared to other tracks and other fields. So that should be a big motivation. Apart from that, I would say learning this skill will definitely give you a wider perspective. The top down, I would say, view of how companies operate because mostly you'll be working in the analytics space where you'll be building dashboards for CXOs. So you will get a very good view of the whole business understanding.
Yeah, perfectly perfect. Sort of like I also agree. For me, the tech and the better salary was the biggest motivation. And I
Correct.
think there are multiple points you have put in this particular last question. People can choose the point, motivation point, as per their interest or the requirement, and they can move with this. So yeah, this was a great discussion, Saurabh. Yeah, once again, I want to thank you, Saurabh, for joining this discussion. We had multiple such kind of discussion offline, but this is the one which formally we are having it, and our audience, our viewer would be very happy, and they will get a very insight from this discussion. And I really want my whole purpose of this channel is to help people to move into the DE field, like how we have done. Many people can do it, and that's how we'll progress. Yeah, once again, thank you, Saurabh. It was great connecting with you.
Thank you, Santosh. Yeah, I mean, it was great sharing my experience and my learnings from this industry. Thank you.